Hi everyone, it's me, B Atticali Sunflower. So I'm on today to do a second recording of this lovely oracle deck that I received this morning. The deck is called the Qajar Oracle and it's by our lovely Nova Mundi. And at the top here it says a Persian miniature card deck. So I did unbox this deck earlier on and I thought I was recording it and apparently I forgot to play. So I'm gonna have to do it all over again. So, I've taken the plastic off. Let's have a look at the back of the box. I'm going to turn it over. Showcasing the rich symbolism and narratives of Persian culture through beautifully illustrated cards. Tarot life coach Nova Mundi blends visual and psychological elements with an intuitive exploration of personality traits. Qajar Oracle is an independable tool that will encourage you to become more aware of your emotions, connect with others, and realize how feelings manifest through expressions and body language. A gift and a bridge between worlds, these cards invite you to explore the beauty and wisdom of heartmancy. And it includes 44 cards in the guidebook, and it's by Rob Paul Publishing. I do believe that Nova has independent decks, but I think this is her first mass market deck. So I did open up the box, as I said before, when I tried to record it the first time. I love this art inside here, this kind of like psychedelic art, and I'd love to have wallpaper in this sort of pattern. I think it's really nice. It reminds me of kind of like 1970 psychedelic wallpaper. The cards are also held together by this bit of paper which has got the same sort of print on it. And the back of the cards are also in the same sort of print. It's beautiful, with beautiful gold golden edges. But before I go to the cards, let's have a flick through of the guidebook. So the guidebook is 156 pages. I like the content page. It's very clear. It's got an introduction. It talks about the deck, how to use the cards, card spreads. I like the fact that the cards are numbered, have the keyword and the page number so that you can refer to the guidebook. It's got an appendix of the Qajar dynasty paintings, acknowledgements and about the author. It gives you an introduction. It talks about the deck and the miniature paintings, which are the archetypes of the deck. It tells you how to use the cards. It talks about the significator card. It talks about tarot and oracle pairings, Lenormand readings, divinatory readings, shadow work, meditation and contemplation, storytelling, character development, pilot inspiration, dialogue and interaction, overcoming writer's block, exploring human nature, and it's got a bit here about intuitive readings. I think that this deck though is going to be a shadow deck, because when I thought I recorded it the first time, I actually done a tarot reading with this deck and the Lenormand deck, which I'll show you later, and it was so accurate it kind of frightened me. But I'll select the cards that fell out as I was shuffling a bit later on. It talks about creating a sacred space, grounding yourself, setting intentions, connecting with the cards, how to draw the cards. It's got here reject and interpret, close the session. And when it's got the card spreads, so it's got a past, present and future spread, which is a 3-card spread, and it tells you about each placement. It's got the journey of self-discovery spread, which is 4 cards. The shadow work spread, which is 5 cards, and the personality insight spread. Then it goes into the cards, and for each card it gives you the keyword and the meaning, and the meanings are spread out over 2 pages. So it does that for each of the 44 cards. There is a significator card, which is card 44, but I'm not sure if that's got a meaning to it. Yeah, it actually tells you about the significator card, which I like. So a significator card is a specific card chosen to represent the person or situation which the reading is being done. It acts as a focal point or reference card throughout the reading, helping the reader to gain insight into the subject's energy and current state. Then it's got an appendix for the dynasty paintings, which are the archetypes of the cards, which is really good. It talks about the Qajar dynasty of Iran. Nova gives acknowledgements, and this is Nova Monday. I thought that she would look like this, actually. She's very beautiful. So it talks a bit about Nova. So Nova Monday is a passionate tarot and oracle educator with deep love for art. Born in Tehran, and then it's got Iran, she earned a master's degree in Russian literature before embarking on a journey that took her across the globe. Since leaving Iran, she has lived in various countries, immersing herself in diverse cultures and exploring a wide range of studies and interests, including psychology, Sufism, arts, and erotic and occult sciences. She has travelled to nearly 50 countries across all continents, mostly by car, and embraces the ride of a child of the world. As an active tarot tuber, she proudly identifies as a member of the international tarot community. Through her social media channels, Nova engages with tarot readers and educators from around the world, fostering a global exchange of knowledge and artistic expression. Through her work, she continues to share the rich and diverse world of the tarot and oracles with others. Nova currently lives in the Netherlands with her husband Marcel, a well-known Dutch graffiti artist. And it gives you her Instagram, Facebook and YouTube handle, which is Nova Monday Tarot. It's really nice to put a face to the voice because I've never seen Nova before. Okay, so let's have a look at the cards. So what I like about this deck is that it's numbered and it's got really nice keywords. When I use oracle decks, I like to put them back in order after I've used them. So the fact that they're numbered is a plus for me. In addition, I'm going to put the cards aside that I shuffled and dropped for the reading that I done when I thought that I was recording this video the first time round. So card number 1 is absent-minded. Card number 2 is addict. Card number 3 is attention seeker. Cat lady. Clairvoyant. Clingy. Clown. Con artist. Condescending. Cynical. Defensive. Denialist. Forbidden fruit. Free spirit. Gaslighter. Genius. Gossip. Gullible. Healer. Hedonist. Hoarder. Hypersensitive. Hypocrite. Idealist. Image conscious. Indifferent. Influencer. Intrusive. judgmental, negotiator, open-minded, opportunist, oppressor, passive-aggressive, pathological liar, people pleaser, pretentious, resilient, seducer, self-centered, strategist, street smart, vindictive, and the last card is the significator card. I paired it with this Lenormand deck here, which is called the Runner George Lenormand, and this is based on Lebanese art. And even though they're different art styles, I think the actual colours make this quite a good pairing, because there's a lot of gold and stuff in here. And I just love the backs of both the decks. I think they're gorgeous. So Attention Seeker with the Clover, Cat Lady and the Ship, Clairvoyant and the House, Clingy and the Tree, Clown and the Clouds. I think they go really well together anyway, even though they're different types of art. Forbidden Fruit and the Scythe, Free Spirit and the Whip, Gaslighter and the Birds, Genius, Gossip with the Fox, Gullible with the Bear, Healer with the Stars. So I think these pair well together. So I've done a reading, in my first take of this video, and I wanted to originally do the 3-card spread. And the original cards that I chose was Con Artist for the second position, which is the present, Condescending for the future, and People Pleaser for the past. So for the People Pleaser, which was card 36, the guidebook says this personality trait refers to someone who goes out of their way to make others happy, often at the expense of their own needs or desires. It is driven by a deep desire for approval and acceptance and harmony. People pleasers may fear conflict or rejection and thus prioritize other people's feelings and opinions, believing that this will help them maintain relationships and avoid negative judgment. And the present card is card 8, which is Con Artist. This personality trait describes an individual who is skilled in deception, manipulation, and the exploitation of others for personal gain. Con artists are masters of persuasion and often possess a deep understanding of human psychology, which they use to create convincing lies or elaborate schemes designed to deceive others. Their power motivation is typically to obtain money, power, or other forms of personal benefit at the expense of their victims. So the third card, which is in the future position, was Condescending. And the word describes a behaviour where someone speaks or acts in a way that suggests their views others as inferior or less intelligent. This trait is marked by a patronizing attitude in which the individual might belittle or dismiss other people's opinions, abilities, or experiences. The underlying cause of condescending behavior often stems from a sense of superiority or insecurity. I mean, there's a bit more, but I'll leave it at that. So these 3 cards didn't make sense to me. Remember, these cards were jumpers. You know, they jumped out the deck as I was shuffling them. So I pulled out another card for clarity, and I got addict. So when I pulled out the addict card, it kind of brought it together a bit more, because I do have 2 long-term friends who I've known, I'd say, for more than 20 years, that I recently cut off because I found out that they had addictions. I don't want to go into what type of addictions they had, but I thought, no, that's a boundary for me. But prior to me knowing they had addictions, because they were long-term friends, I didn't want to offend them. So I was always trying to do right by them, and I put in more effort to the friendship than what they did. So to me, the con artist is about them having addictions and not coming clean with me, and the people pleasing in the past position was me trying to maintain a friendship, putting the effort in, because I couldn't understand why the behavior was odd. And then with the condescending behavior, it was almost like narcissistic, you know, where they look down on me, see me as inferior and all that sort of stuff, and there was me trying to people please. So as I said before, there was 2 people that came in mind. So when I pulled out some Lenormand cards, the first card that fell out was a male. So the other person was dismissed because the other person is female. And then I got the garden card. And then I got the incense card. Now, sometimes in Lenormand decks, creators add extra cards, because Lenormand normally had 36 cards, but the runner-drawed one that this deck is from has 40. So to me, like, an incense burner is used to banish negative energy. So if I look at this as a collective, this actual spread is saying that someone who I know, who in the past, you know, I was trying to please and, you know, putting in effort for our friendship, has got an addiction. And that addiction kind of made them condescending, like their behavior patterns, and almost narcissistic. And I think it's a male, obviously, because it's 28. But then also, it could also be like a masculine female, because the female person who I know as well with those same character traits is quite controlling, quite dominant, quite masculine in personality. But my intuition is telling me it's a man. It's my birthday this month, so I guess that I'm going to socialise for that particular birthday. And maybe I might come across this person, because these people are old-time friends of mine. As I said before, more than 20 years worth of friendship. And with the incense burner card, I think it's warning me not to reconnect with this person, because they haven't addressed their addiction. They might try and, you know, not be truthful and say that they've stopped the addiction, but they haven't. So the incense card is just telling me to banish this person, sage them out of your life. You just don't have anything to do with them no more. So I think that's quite a good reading, really. But I had to pull quite a few cards because I didn't get enough information from these 3 cards. It's only when the addict card fell out and then the 3 Lenormand cards fell out that it all came into place. That's why sometimes it's good to layer your readings. So what are my first impressions of this deck? I really like it. You know, I like the keywords as well, because to me they're quite relatable. There are people in this world who are addicts, who are con artists, who are absent-minded, who are attention seekers. So that you know, they're kind of relatable keywords. And to me, this comes across like a shadow deck to me, and that's how I think I'm going to use it. because the reading that I done earlier, it was about a shadow aspect of my life that I was trying to suppress. People in my life that I've cut out because of it, because I found out they've got addictions, and I think it was just giving me warnings. So it kind of surprised me that a deck that I've just opened, haven't saved, haven't slept with, could give me such a powerful reading just by pulling out a few cards. I do intend to read the guidebook because I would like to know a bit more about the Qajar family and the Persian miniature art. So I will be reading this book from cover to cover because it's quite a small book. I also love the artwork. It's really, really nice. In addition, this deck also has kind of like Lenormand qualities. So I could probably devise my own system, maybe do a 9-card spread and see what the messages are. But definitely for shadow work, for sure. Thank you so much, Nova, for devising this wonderful deck. I will leave the deck in the description bar for anyone that's interested in buying this deck. It did come out today in the UK, which is the 2nd of July. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.